Okay. All right. What's going on, family? I'm doing a brief check-in. This is just a random live to touch bases with y'all, see what's going on during the day on a Tuesday. I go live at night. In the past, I did a couple of sessions during the day, but want to check out the daytime audience if y'all are awake on the western portion of the states. You know what I mean? This is 3 hours behind. It's about 9:38 a.m. over there. For those of us on Eastern Standard Time, it's 12:38 p.m. So we're just having a general discussion. I just uploaded a video not too long ago by Shulamit Alani. She was the former Israeli prime minister, and she brought some truth out. Now, this video has been shared in the past, and as of late in other videos, I decided that I wanted to add that as well, because you need to see that in context with the anti-Semitism slander campaign that's being done by some elitists out there, and what is the reasoning for it, right? So, again, when in regards to hatred, we don't condone hatred over here at KHM in regards to those other groups. What we simply do is uplift our community, educate them, and make them aware of their identity and what their purpose is in the grand scheme of things. And once you train people to identify the truth, then they can identify the falsehoods, right? So once you know truth, you can identify falsehoods. You don't have to keep pointing at the falsehoods. You could just focus on the truth and allow people to use that as a template to measure against that which is false, right? It's very simple. All right. So shout out to In Search of Yah in the building, O'Shea White, what's going on? Black Ab, Dimitri Elder, Sundiata Marcelin says shalom from Belize. What's going on? My brother Chris, the Most High Child Shayarala, Hail Israel. He said, don't matter what time, I'm here. I like that. Appreciate that, my brother. Ron Isa, my sister, the souls of our ancestors. What's going on, sis? All right. Rodney Frederick. Rodney, I think it's your Earth Day, right? So happy Earth Day to you, my brother, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Shout out to Minister Maccabi in the building. Andre Bell. Joseph Clark. Oh, okay. He said this is Cocoon in Dallas. No doubt. Remember, I'm getting to everybody in Dallas by the end of the week. All right. Touching bases with y'all. All right. So I got y'all. All right. Shout out to Sister V Love in the building. Thomas Jackson. Yo, shalom. My brother DB. What's going on? Thomas Jackson says, is this for real? Divine on during the day? Yeah, I am on during the day, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to do more daytime lives now that I got some availability to do so. So I'm gonna try to do some more daytime lives, but it just depends on how many people are available during the day to tune in. So I'll probably do a little later, just so that way people on the West Coast, it won't be so early for them. So maybe about 2 p.m. or something like that. I can go live for a little bit for you with y'all. But y'all let me know. Shout out to my brother 1876 Benjamin Israel. What's going on? Sister V Love, I think you are correct. I believe you are correct, but I'll go ahead and change that. But from the video itself, I mean, from the subtitle and the actual dialogue, it said Prime Minister, if I'm not mistaken. But let me take a look at it. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see what it says here. Oh, you're right. You are correct. I'll go ahead and change that ASAP. I don't want any misinformation out there. All right. This is very rare you're going to have a woman prime minister for Israel. So you are absolutely correct. So I went ahead and change that. All right. So I appreciate that. Thank you for that, sis. I went ahead and changed that. All right. Okay. Shalom to John Williams in the building. What's going on? What's going on? All right. KB says, without saying names, unless you want to, have you ever had a celebrity, athlete, politician says reach out to you for information regarding us being Israelites? Yes, I have. And it's not like there's a ton of them, but I've had a handful, maybe about 5 of them. Well-known people that y'all probably know or aware of. They have reached out to me, and they asked for it to be anonymous, and I said okay. At first, like if somebody's reaching out to me and they're a well-known celebrity, I'm like, this is a fake account or something like that. Like that's my first instinct, is like, why would they want to be inquiring about this type of information? And this is before all the, Deshaun Jackson, before the Nick Cannon stuff. But anyway, they reached out and they validated that they are who they said they are. I was like, wow. And they said, hey, somebody told me about your channel, or I came across your channel and I see you put all this information about us being Israelites. If you don't mind, can you send me some more information on that, etc. I said, sure. 2 of them, they donated to the ministry, you know what I'm saying? And the other ones, they were just, curious, they just asked for it to be anonymous. Because I think most of them, with the exception of 2, they had these anonymous accounts. But they did the video chat with me and everything, and they validated it was them. I was like, what? This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So nonetheless, they reached out and they was like, hey, we like your information. Thank you for sharing this. Can you send me some more sources or whatever the case may be? And I did. And they, some of them said, hey, I wish I could come out about this, but, given who I am and my livelihood and my career at this point, I can't, when I decide to retire, I could come out and share this information, but, I can live vicariously through you. And I'm like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? And the main reason why they, gravitated towards me or my ministry is because they like our approach. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not out there talking crazy, wild, reckless, and all of that. We just simply put out the information. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm grateful for those celebrities. And if y'all are watching, y'all are always welcome to hit me up, per your disclosure. I will not tell anybody who you guys are unless, you tell me that it's okay, whenever that time is right. But in the interim, thank you for patronizing the ministry and coming and requesting information. And I greatly appreciate that. So yes, that's the case. So whenever they say it's okay to reveal their names, or maybe they'll make a post with me in it or something like that, I don't know. One of them did post me on one of his social media platforms. So I might share that since he made it public. You know what I'm saying? But this was it was like a year ago, some time ago. But it's a good thing that you asked. Hopefully more will come through, but we'll see. Right? We'll definitely see. But a lot of them, they're not owners of their own stuff, so they still answer to somebody. So unfortunately, they can't come out with a lot of information. All right. You're correct, Sister V Love. So it's very rare that they vote women prime ministers in. And you remember, the state of Israel is extremely new, 1948. So they've only had but so many prime ministers. All right. Shout out to my sister Sharuka Israel in the building. What's going on? Milka Israel. Shalom. Shalom. All right. Eliyahu, Yirmiyahu. What's going on? So Eliyahu says, can you please help me understand 2nd Esdras 7:28? Okay. All right. Let's see. Man, y'all don't waste no time. Y'all don't waste no time, man. I be trying to get started and you know what I'm saying, do my opening and do my preface before I start the session, and y'all don't waste no time with the questions, man. That's what's up, man. But anyway, 2nd Esdras 7:38 is believed to be a interpolation. I'm trying to bring it up right now so I can read it to y'all. It's believed by some Christian redactors. They believe that it was a interpolation. I gotta find. Did this study some time ago. I did this study some time ago. But anyway, some people believe that it was a redaction. Some people believe that it was Joshua, the high priest that we see in the book of Zacharias. So that's another understanding of it. Now, there was something that I had before that went more in depth with that. Where is forgot which. I had a source for that. But anyway, let me bring it up on the screen so that everybody can see it. Let me zoom in. I gotta find my source for that. Here you go. Throw it up on the screen. All right, there it is. All right, 2nd Ezra 7:28-29 says, "For my son Jesus shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. After 3 years shall my son Christ die, and all men that have life." Right. So, whenever I, talk to you guys about these things, I always say you have to read it within its context. All right. And again, keywords. There's also another thing. A city is builded upon a broad field and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall. And only in one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that they could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for inheritance, if he never shall pass the dangers set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, "It is so, Lord." Then said he unto me, "Even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now was done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils, and very painful. For the entries of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit." Then answered I, say, "O Adonai, that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous shall inherit these things, but that the ungodly shall perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things, and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide." And he said unto me, "There is no judge above the Most High, and none that hath understanding above the highest. For there may be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them. But God has given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Nevertheless, they were not obedient to him, but spake against him, and imagined vain things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways, but his law have they despised, and denied his covenant, and his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. And therefore, Esdras, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are the full things. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told thee shall come to pass, and the bride shall appear, and she coming forth shall be seen, that now was withdrawn from the earth. And whosoever is delivered from the foresaid evil shall see my wonders. For my son Yeshua shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. And after these years shall my son Christ die, and all men that have life, and the world shall be turned into the old silence 7 days, like as in a former judgment, so that no man shall remain. And after 7 days the world that yet waketh not shall be raised up, and that shall die that is corrupt, and the earth shall restore those that are asleep in her. And so shall the dust those that dwell in silence, and the secret place shall deliver those souls that were committed unto them. And the Most High shall appear upon the seat of judgment, and misery shall pass away, and the long suffering shall have an end, etc., etc. So when you look at 2nd Esdras, it is well known that 2nd Esdras is a Greco-Roman work. Okay, we don't have any earlier antiquity of this work existing, right? So we know it's a Greco-Roman work, and also elements of it came from a Jewish sect or an Israelite sect or Judean sect, but the forms that we have today of it is in Christian manuscripts, right? So it is believed, based on the style of writing, when you get into the language and, you know, the prose structure and then the similarities between this and the New Testament, it is believed that this is an interpolation of a Christian writer or scribe. Okay, so I have something I was trying to look for. I had something on it. I had to look for some more, but that's a great question. People have asked me that before, so hopefully that helps to begin to answer that question. All right. Black Av, you're correct. He says that's wild. Reclaiming your culture can be so problematic when everyone else can do it. No problem. You're right. Because you got to think about it. You know, as far as the compromise, a lot of other cultures have not been as compromised as our culture has been. Right. So trying to reclaim it becomes an issue. And the main thing is when you point fingers. Right. That's why I tell celebrities, look, if you want to point fingers, don't do it yourself. Find whistleblowers within that community and share their information, because you're just sharing what they're saying. You're not saying it. Like me, I didn't say nothing about no anti-Semitism slander campaign. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't say that. I let Shula meet Alani. I let her speak, and she shared that information. I didn't say it. She said it. She's a whistleblower. So you use the whistleblowers to speak and do the finger pointing. You don't have to do that. Just focus on building your people, your community, and revealing to them that information. All right. And I think if we focus on that, there would be less blowback. But again, you cannot take money, you know, or eat the crumbs from a master's table and then shun the master and talk bad about the master and expect the master going to keep feeding you. You feel me? It don't work that way. All right. All right. Shout out to my brother Yahosef. Ben Yisrael said, good work ministering to those celebrities. I hope I see you this Sunday in Virginia Beach. Yeah, willing. I look forward to seeing you as well, my brother. I will be in Virginia Beach, family. So make sure you guys come out. Let me show you guys the flyer again real quick in case you guys have not seen the flyer. I want to show you guys the flyer. And then I want to get into some information. And I think that you guys should understand. And this is going to segue into the upcoming presentation that I'm working on with my brother Shema in regards to Israelite identities. Okay, as far as Israel, Africa, and the Americas is involved. All right, so let me go ahead and show you guys this on the screen real quick. All right, this is the event right here. It's called Cry Out 2020. If my people humble, pray, seek, turn. August 2nd, 2020, Virginia Beach, Virginia. All right. So I'm going to drop in there for you guys in the chat. I'm going to drop for you guys the Eventbrite. So you guys can click on that and you can let me grab it. Hold on. Hold on. Let me bring up the Eventbrite. And Eventbrite gives you all the details that you need for this event. So if you guys are in the Norfolk area, if you guys are anywhere in Virginia and you guys can make it out, please show up, show your support. I'm going to drop this in there real quick for y'all. Okay, that's the Eventbrite. I'm going to bring up the Eventbrite on the screen so you guys can see it. All right, this is the Eventbrite right here. Cry Out 2020. Details is over here, Sunday, August 2nd, 2020, from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., right? Eastern Standard Time. Here's the location, Moondon Point Park, 2001 Pefley Lane, Virginia Beach, Virginia, 23457. I will be in town this upcoming Saturday, and I will be there until Monday morning. I'll be leaving out in about 12 p.m., right? So I'll be there all day Saturday. I'll be there all day Sunday. And then Monday morning, I'm leaving out. All right. So if you guys are in Virginia Beach and you guys want to get up, we can. If enough of y'all come out that support KHM and you're like, hey, you know, there's X amount of us here, you know, can we set up a chapter out here? I mean, we could do it on the fly. I have no problem with that. Only thing that I ask is that if y'all are interested in joining KHM, if you're going to meet me at this event, please watch the videos, right? The KHM Orlando launch event briefing and the KHM Dallas launch event briefing. Go back and watch those videos so you can get acclimated with the material in regards to what we're about and how we operate, etc. So I need to make sure that you guys understand that and you guys are with it. And then from there, and I can onboard y'all while I'm at the event, right? We can do that on Sunday. All right. If y'all are interested, if nothing, y'all come out, we'll see. So far, I got a lot of people to hit me up. I didn't even know a lot of y'all was in Virginia like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's up. If you want to shout out to my brother Christian Mayfield in the building, what's going on, my brother? Shout out to Chemo Ben Israel, what's going on? Lions Time Baby, what's up? What's up? So RT says, do you have a Shabbat live stream? I don't, but if y'all want that, just hit one. Hit one if y'all want that. And I could probably do like an hour with y'all, 30 minutes to an hour, just give y'all a message, play some music or whatever the case may be for those of you who follow KHM and you want like that type of energy on the Shabbat. So hit one if that's something y'all are interested in, and I'll consider integrating that at least 30 minutes to an hour every Shabbat, early in Shabbat for you guys. All right. So Sister V Love said, I'm sad about not being able to come to VA Beach. We're sad that you're not going to be there as well, sis. It'd be great to have you and everybody else that was asking about it in that area. I've been thinking for a long time that we should be gathering specifically to cry out. Yes, and this is what this event is all about. All right, this is what it's all about, coming together, crying out to Yah so we can see a change in our communities. You know what I'm saying? So, RT say, yes, sir, for those who don't have a church or congregation. Okay, I understand that. So, I mean, if that's what y'all want, I mean, I could do that. I can work on that. It seems like, yeah, a lot of y'all like that. All right. So I'll work on that. No problem. No problem. No problem. All right. So yeah, I'll work on that for you guys and see what I can do for y'all. There's been a lot of challenges because of COVID-19. So some people are not even able to go to their congregation physically. And some people's congregations are not even live. Right. So I definitely feel your pain. And I think I could do it. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll probably do that. I'm going to work on creating a message for y'all. I don't know. Why is it breaking up? It's because it's a extremely long URL. That's crazy. And I'll do the first message for y'all. It's going to call spiritual oninitis. Remember I told y'all about spiritual oninitis? I'll do a lesson on that. 30-minute lesson on that for y'all. And I'll put that out there on the Sabbath for y'all. Not this Saturday. Okay, not this upcoming Saturday, but the next Saturday, the following Saturday, I'll work on that for y'all. All right. So again, this is the event. If you are in Virginia Beach or the surrounding areas, you need to be in the building on that Sunday from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Munden Point Park, 2001 Pefley Lane, Virginia Beach, VA, 23457. KHM will be in the house. All right, Roy, the chef says, will it be live streamed? I don't know. I know I will be live streaming. I'm not sure about the host. I have to check to make sure that I can live stream or see if they're live streaming. But if I get the okay, I definitely will be live streaming. Right. If I get the okay, I definitely will be live streaming. All right. Okay. Cool. Man, I'm sorry you can't be back in the States in time, Roy. It would be great for you to come out, man, and check in with us. So Christian says, well, shalom to you, V.I. Jones. Janelle, she says she'll be there. Awesome. Christian Mayfield says, sup with Death to Dogma series. Yes, remember, the Death to Dogma series is a Patreon-only exclusive. All right, before I start that, I'm waiting for some equipment to come in regards to my home studio. And once that's set up, I'll be able to do that series for you. That way it'll look more professional, right? Again, anything I do on Patreon, I want to make sure it has the most polish possible because you guys are investing in the ministry. I want to do the same, want that to reflect here on, the YouTube channel as well, but it's going to be a Patreon only series. So as soon as my equipment comes in and I have everything set up, maybe if you come back, Christian, you can help me out with this, my brother. We can get that popping. All right. Shout out to my brother Seth in the building all the way from South Africa. What's going on, my brother? All right. Door of L, do you have a copy of the book of Hebron? Yes, I do. I do have a copy of that book. All right, fam, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, family. Hit that subscribe button at the bottom underneath this video. Hit that bell button. hit the top bell option for all, and make sure you share this video. Okay, make sure you share this video. All right. So let me go ahead and drop that down. Janelle says, I'll be there. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So again, that's where I'm going to be this weekend. So I'm just prepping for that weekend. We're still going to have another Freestyle Friday because I don't have to leave on Friday. So it's easy. I could do a Freestyle Friday for y'all this upcoming Friday. I will. And then Saturday, I will also be live streaming from Virginia Beach. Sunday, I'll be live streaming, hopefully at the event for y'all. So you'll get 3 days back-to-back live streams. All right. You don't want to miss that. All right. I want to give a shout out to all the family that has supported our Patreon. All right. So our Patreon has reached 176 patrons. I want to thank everybody for supporting the Patreon. I appreciate that. All right. Let me go ahead and throw this up on the screen real quick. I just added a new book on there as well. So if anybody's interested in checking out the material that we have on the Patreon, I just added a new book. All right. Y'all can check that out. Here we go. Right. Y'all can check that out. It's on, it's an Oxford series on how to improve your argument along with critical thinking. It's an excellent book if you want to sharpen your argumentation skills. And I had spoke about this on the last live stream that a lot of y'all liked. I was surprised that, there were so many people that was telling me that they enjoyed that, that portion I was going into, how to formulate an argument, like a really good argument, and the steps and so forth. So a lot of y'all emailed me about that information and I sent it out. And like I said, I'm going to be adding everything on the Patreon. So everything's going to be on the Patreon. You know what I'm saying? That's the after party. Anytime we go live or do whatever we do on YouTube, if y'all want to get the after party, go ahead and pledge on Patreon and get access to the after party. But thank you, everybody, for the recent pledges that we got. Thank you guys for joining the team, joining our family on Patreon, man. That's where it goes down. And I'm telling you guys, man, Patreon is where it's at. All right. And you guys are the investors for the ministry. And I appreciate y'all. All right. Okay. So let me go ahead and drop that down. All right. And the Most High Child dropped the link for the Patreon, www.patreon.com/DivineProspect. And again, those details are in the description below. Okay. All right. So Minister Maccabi says he wants to work on an EP, but he needs beats. Now, I know a lot of people that make beats, bro. A lot of people, Aki, that makes beats in the community. So if you're interested in that, email me. And I will get you in touch with them. All right. And if anybody in this chat make any beats, I mean, Ms. Maccabi, throw your email in the chat. If they make beats, they'll see the email address and they'll go ahead and reach out to you. All right. So Minister Maccabi, throw your email in the chat. All right. Shout out to my brother Jordan's Cadet for the donation. I appreciate that. That brother is getting busy with computer programming, man. Deep into it, man, and science. I see the psychology books and everything he be posting on his Instagram. He be taking his cross-country trips when he be doing trucking. He be taking his little chair and sitting out there and looking at the views. Shout out to my brother Jordan's Cadet, man. I may bring you in on this presentation that me and Shema is gonna have. Hopefully this month in August, no later than September. All right, so let me know if you want to get in on it and be a part of that, because that's going to be heavy. I want you to deal with the psychology of psychology of the dichotomy between, that abstract Christian Western mindset and the more concrete Israelite Eastern mindset. All right. And deal with the psychological element of that. So if you want to be part of that, my brother, I would love to have you on board for this presentation. Let me know. And people can see some more of the scholarly academic work that we can put out in this community. All right. And I think the more of that we show, the more people will take what we're saying seriously. All right. All right. Shout out to Timon Matthews in the building. What's going on? And then you go, ministernorris@gmail.com, ministernorris@gmail.com. So if anybody got beats out there, please reach out to my brother, Minister Maccabi. All right. Shout out to Yapa Kalaya, Kimberly M in the building. What's going on, sis? What's going on? All right. So let's get into some information. All right. Get into some information. I got tons of stuff. I'm not going to be able to show everything today because this is just check-in, see how y'all doing, see what's going on, give you any updates, any briefing on what's going on, what's new with us. But there is something that I want you guys to take a look at. All right. So let me go ahead and see if I can find it. That's not what I wanted there. Let me close this. All right, two things. One thing is, there you go. Minister Maccabi, Black Av said he makes beats. So Black Av, email the brother if you don't mind. All right. All right. So let me go ahead and bring this up. Give me a second. I'm going to bring this up. Hold on real quick, family. All right. All right. So let me close that. I want to bring this up. Where is it at? Here we go. I want to share this with y'all because I think this is extremely important. Trying to find. Hold on. So while I'm looking this up, shout out to my sister Revolutionary Me in the building. What's going on, sis? It's nice to see you here again. Thank you guys for all of y'all for coming out during the day and being here with us. Sis says, what's the Cash App? So the Cash App should be there, download in the description box, but I'll go ahead and I'll put it here. It should be very easy to remember. It's $ Divine Prospect. That's it. It's right there in the chat, sis. So I appreciate that, sis, for your support and for being here with us. All right. Shout out to my brother Jabbar Yisrael says, Shalom from the UK. Is it okay to read the Talmud? As I've learned, it was written over 250 years before the Ashkenazi conversion. It was actually written, well, you said Ashkenazi conversion. When you say Ashkenazi conversion, what are you talking about specifically? Let me know what you're talking about specifically when you say that. Because the Talmud is a compendium of the Mishnah and the Gemara and then other commentary, right? That's been codified. And you have two of them. You have the Babylonian Talmud and you have the Jerusalem Talmud. There's two Talmuds. It's not just one, it's two Talmuds. So it's okay to read that because it's good to understand the information in there when you're relating to Jews that subscribe to the Talmud, right? So for me, I read it so that I'm knowledgeable enough so I can have dialogues with them, but it's not binding to me, right? Whatever's in there is not binding to me, right? It's just good information to know, to read, to understand, but it's not binding to me. Now, other Jews, Orthodox Jews, right? It's binding to them. It's not binding to me. All right. So yes, it's okay to read that. Of course, read that. There's no problem with that. But we are working on our own halakha because a lot of halakha that Jews do today is extracted from the Talmud, right? A lot of it has been preserved in the oral tradition by means of the Mishnah, right? But we are reconstructing our own halakha, which we are supposed to do in a diaspora here in the Americas, right? What's in there is for some other group of people. That's not for us. And I will continue to stand by that. And I know there's some Black Jews, right, rabbinic Jews that disagree with that. And that's fine. They can disagree with that, but that's just my position. That's where I stand. All right. Shout out to my brother Myron Henderson for the donation. I appreciate that. And my brother O'Shea White for the donation. Thank you guys for the donation. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. All right. So Black Ave, it's Minister Norris at gmail.com. Is that what it is? I'll throw it on the screen real quick. Let me see. Where's your email address, Minister Maccabi? Let me find it again. Minister Maccabi. Oh, here it is. I found it. It's right here. Minister Norris at gmail.com. That's it right there, Black Ave. All right. So if you can't get it now because you said you're losing connection in the store, that's fine. It's here on the screen. So when you come back for the replay, you can be able to check that out and see. Okay. So I don't know who LLKIFY says Israelites share the same religion for the most part as the Canaanites, Phoenicians. They don't share the same religion. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. Now, if you say practices, there may be some similar practices, but there's also other dissimilar practices. And again, you can go simply to the archaeology. And I say this all the time, right? Go to the Yavne Yam Astrakhan, which is one example of something that's been codified into the Israelite canon of customs, right? That was distinct from what we see in other Canaanites. The dietary law, right? At ancient Israel Iron Age sites or Israelite Iron Age sites, we see the dietary nature of these people, and it was distinct from the Canaanites, right? The pottery was distinct from the Canaanites, okay? Their JPSs, the JPF, the figurines in which they created were distinct from the Canaanites, okay? The teraphims that they had were distinct from the Canaanites. There's a lot of distinctions that are distinct from the Canaanites. The 8th day circumcision is distinct from the Canaanites. So if we see those customs show up somewhere else in the world, you can't say, oh, because that could be Canaanites, Phoenicians. No, it's not. Show me if you was to parse out the Iron Age Israelite practices and customs, Phoenician practices and customs, and Canaanite practices. Tell me the frequency of affinity. What is the percentage of the frequency of affinity? All right, give me that number. All right, tell me what that number is. And once you give me that number, then we can examine what we find in West Africa to see what lines up with what, right? And we can check it out, right? But see, that's the thing, my brother, looking at particulars. Particulars are important, or particulates, they're important, all right? So hopefully that answers your question. So that's what I'm talking about. And I've seen you commented on here before, and I've seen you on other chats and other YouTube streams as well. So I kind of know what your angle is already, my brother. All right. So Denaya Shamgar says, your thoughts on burning sage, any biblical support or rebuke for it? There's no biblical support or rebuke for it. It is a Native American custom. That's where burning sage actually comes from. There's different types of sage. White sage is the one that actually has the most antimicrobial properties. But then you have the other generic form of sage as well. So, I mean, there's nothing for and against it. Okay. My preference in regards to that is to get a essential oil diffuser and get some white sage and add it to an essential oil diffuser. And the reason why is because you don't have any carcinogen elements or components from the diffuser, but you can get some of those elements from burning the actual sage. Okay. So you want to kind of refrain from that if you can, and just get an essential oil diffuser. I have one out here in my living room. I mean, I showed it to you guys before in my old place, but I suggest you get an essential oil diffuser because, you know, that's more potent and you're actually going to get more from that than you will get from actually burning the sage itself. All right. Now, if you want to burn incense, there is particular items that is mentioned in the scriptures that you can get. Now, I want to show this to y'all. Shout out to my boy Corey Walker for the donation. He says Torah Rabal for your debate tips, Aki, anytime, King. You know what I'm saying? And if you want some more books or PDFs or whatever on it, email me, kingdomharmony@gmail.com. I'm going to hook you up. All right. Shout out to my brother Godtrell McKinney for the donation. Thank you so much, brother, for being consistent and investing in this ministry and keeping us on the air. I appreciate you, my brother, as always. All right. So let me show you guys this real quick. Hold on. And I'm gonna show y'all. It's I seen it also on like Amazon, right? I'm gonna give it to y'all. All right. So one is stakte, which is nataf in Hebrew. The other one is onisha or anika, which is shek heleth in Hebrew. The other one is gal banam, which is kel bana in Hebrew. And the other one is frankincense. But there's another one too, I think, that is missing from here. These are all resins, right? Myrrh is another one. If you can find these items. Now, let me find them for you. Let me see where, because I had them also on Amazon. So I'm gonna give it to y'all in 1 second. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Because they're missing like 2 items. All right. So let me find the Amazon, because there's Amazon. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna get it for y'all right now. And the purpose of these burning incense is to evoke the presence of Yah. So this is another pre-Israelite custom, that there are prerequisites that are done to invoke the presence of the deity so you can interface with the deity, right? Pouring libations is one, right, which is extremely important. Burning incense is another, which is extremely important. Structuring your prayer, but it's really an appeal, right? Structuring your appeal is another one. And there's a couple other elements too, like, creating a shrine to the deity, or, creating one out of stones that have not been smoothed, and you can have one there. Or creating getting a stone and etching in the name of the deity and pouring a libation over it. And there's different types of pouring libation. You either pour it out or you can pour it towards you, depending upon, how you're engaged in the deity. This stuff is important because I think a lot of times people just try to assess the creator any old way, or based on a presupposition that they were taught, right, or what they've learned. And they're not really doing it in a structural fashion that is prescribed from the text, right? And having this incense is important, and you can even get these incenses in oil format to put it in a diffuser, okay? But let me show it to y'all real quick. Hold on. And I've still got to get back to my topic, all right? I've still got to get back to my topic. All right, so hold on. Let me find it. Let me see if I can find it here. Where is it at? Let me do it like this. I know I have it somewhere. Hold on. I'm trying to find the I'm trying to find the Amazon entry that I had saved so you guys can see. Let's do this. Let me see. Is this it? Let me see. I think this might be it. This is one of them. This is called the Temple Incense Blend. You can look that up. It's called the Temple Incense Blend. This one, hold on, let me find it. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. If I can't find it here, what I'll do is I'll put the link in below for you guys. But there was a packet that gave you all the ones that we find in the scriptures that I just read off for y'all, right? For as far as the different types of incense, okay? You can go through Shemot or Exodus 30 and 34. Matter of fact, let me bring up the scripture then. Let me bring up the scripture. Bring up the scripture, right? All right. I think that probably be easy. And let me show it on the screen real quick so y'all can see it. There it is. All right. All right. So Exodus 30:34 says, Yod He Wafe said to Moshe, take sweet spices, stacte and onikha and galbanum, sweet spices with pure frankincense. Of each shall there be an equal part, and make an incense blended as by the perfumer, seasoned with salt. All right. The best salt to get for that would be your Dead Sea salt. Okay. Pure and holy. Okay, you shall beat some of it into very small and put part of it before the testimony in the tent of meeting where I shall meet with you. It shall be most set apart for you. And the incense that you shall make according to commandments, you shall not make for yourselves. It shall be for you to be set apart for Yah. So it's not like, oh, let me just burn this incense so that my house smells good and have the aromatic scents in the air. No, these things are burnt specifically for invoking the presence of Yah. So the atmosphere in which you're invoking him is set apart, and that he can come and interact with you, right? So this is what they were doing. This is a custom that is no longer being done anymore, okay? But it's something that I inspire people to do. If you're going to burn anything, do it according to the biblical prescription. And this is it right here, right? Let me bring it back up. Let me scroll back up on the screen so you can see it. Here it is. Take sweet spices, right? Sweet spices with frankincense. Now, what are sweet spices? You got to look those up as well, right? So I don't know if you want me to do a lesson on this or whatever. I can. This is just something I'm just doing off the dome for y'all. But there are, if you go to Amazon, there are incense that you can buy or resins that you can purchase that have these items in it, and then you can use that to burn. And again, this is important in regards to invoking the presence. You can also put it into a diffuser, essential oil diffuser. Put these in oil form in a diffuser and invoke the same effect. Okay. So now S. McGee says, was this for the priest only? Now, initially, that was the prescription, right? That this was for the priest only, but the priesthood is no longer established. Levitical priesthood is no longer established in Israel. So we get to go to a fallback priesthood, which is 2, right? Let me give you the first fallback priesthood. All right, here we go. Okay, let's go right here. So it says, now therefore, if you indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, you shall be my treasured possession among all peoples, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be what? A kingdom of priests and a set apart nation. These are the words that show that you shall speak to the people of Israel. So there's going to be coming time when the Israelites are going to be scattered, and they themselves, wherever they go, they must be a kingdom of priests outside of Israel and a set apart nation of people. So what was initially prescribed for the priesthood, being that, and when I say priesthood, the Levitical priesthood that caters to the temple, which is no longer there. Now these are things that are customary that we can integrate into our priesthood session before the Most High, and he will receive it, right? And then you have those who are part of the Melchizedek order. Now, everybody's not part of the Melchizedek order. Some people are, some people are not, right? See, the problem is there's people who are against the Brit Hadashah, whatever, forever case means. And I'm just saying, yo, that's just a case for the Melchizedek order. That's all that is. If you don't want to subscribe to the Melchizedek order, then that's fine. There are benefits that come along with it. But if that's not you, that's not you. All right, cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? When we look at the eschatological effects of whether you're subscribing to that or not, there are some things that are going to occur. But if you want to err on that side, it's up to you. If you want to err on the opposite side, that's up to you. But what I'm saying is that's specifically establishing that Melchizedek order. And that's extremely important. And when you do those things, you have to look to see semblances that have already been established in the Torah or the Chumash, and then you use that to fuse it into a different format in the Melchizedek order. All right. There's a proper way to do these things. Okay. But simply what I'm trying to explain to the people that this incense, if you're going to burn incense or anything of any kind, It depends on what the purpose is. Do you want to burn it to invoke the presence of Yah? If so, there's a biblical prescription on which elements you use to do so. But if you want to do it for antimicrobial properties in the air or for health or whatever, then that's something different. I would say get white sage in essential oil format and put it in a diffuser. All right. So hopefully that helps with that. Right. I was trying to find it online on Amazon for you, but you can look it up and research it yourself. And like I said, when I find it, I'll drop the link in the description box below. All right. All right. So let's get at it. So hopefully that answers your question in regards to burning sage. Okay. So I'm gonna get out of that. So in regards to the anointing oil, that was typically used with olive oil, right? As far as anointing is concerned. But what are you anointing with the oil? See, Christians smear it on everything, right? That's not how it was done in Israel. All right. So that process is extremely delicate, and you have to handle it appropriately, right? You can't just misuse things. All right. Jason Jones says, who are the Shashu of Yod Hey Wav and similar groups by that name? Great question, Jason. I've addressed that in several lectures in the past. What you want to do is I have a playlist that talks about the Exodus revealed, playlist on the Exodus. Anybody in here can grab that playlist and drop it in the chat. But in that playlist, I actually talk about the Shashu. So the Shashu of Yod Hey Wav, and that's the name I use. That's the most antiquated name for the deity, which we see in the text as Yod Hey Wav is Yod Hey Wav. And I even made an onomastics defense for that. You know what I'm saying? In regards to looking at theophoric names and household cults and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that begins to answer your question. But those are what we call, or what I guess academic calls, the proto-Israelites. All right, the ones that was coming together, you know, some from the Transjordan regions, and they were worshiping, Yod Hey Wav, and they had a particular doxology on how they performed that, right? And they're gathering together, and the what they call cultic items that they used, you know what I'm saying, et cetera, right? But it was a province that was called Yod Hey Wav because you had the gathering of several tribes that would come together and worship this deity. All right, so hopefully that answers your question. But if you go to my Exodus playlist, you'll see that I speak in depth on that. All right. Facts, Rodney. They just smear it on everything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And they mishandle these things, right? So hopefully I answered enough of those questions for you guys. All right. Thank you, DB, for shouting out the playlist. I do have playlists on Pre-Israelite culture, customs, and practices. Okay. And then I talk about it a lot in the live streams. So I had somebody that was doing like the breakdown of the live streams. I got to try to get them back so they can help out. It'll be in the description where it has a time marker and everything that I discussed in the live stream. Right. It's easier to have that than it is to just make a whole bunch of playlists when you have 2-3 hour long live stream and you can't really pinpoint what's what and where. You know what I'm saying? Soul of our ancestors, I agree. I believe that we should work on having our own council, that we should do that. Who's going to initiate it? I mean, I'll be more than happy to do it. You know, I don't know how many people is going to want to work to do that, but I'm willing to work on that. You know, I think that we need that to be more unified so that way our voice can go, can get louder and go further, and we can see more change, you know, within our community. So I agree, we need that, but everybody's not going to get on board. But I'm willing to sign up if we do establish that. You know, I think we should create an event just to start the discussion. I think we should do that. So in search of Yah, he said, what are your thoughts on cannabis being found on the altar on Telerod? I've heard of that too. I can't authenticate that, but if you have a link or something like that, post it in the chat and we can check it out. You know what I'm saying? So let me know. All right. So Yoel Ben Yisrael said, hello, Divine. When Yeshua was speaking with the disciples in Matthew 24, at the end, he said, these things shall happen in this generation. Did he mean his generation or ours? Well, in that context, generation is generalized. It's not specific per se. And when he said generations, he's talking about a particular age. And let me give you an example of that. Okay. Let me go to Hebrews 1. So when we go to Hebrews 1, right, we have here verses 1 and 2 says, long ago, at many times and in many ways, the Most High spoke to our fathers by the prophets, but in these last days, oh, hold on, I'm not even sharing on the screen. My bad. There we go. All right. It says, long ago, at many times and in many ways, the Most High spoke to our fathers by the prophets or Nebaim, but in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, through whom he also created the world. Now, that word there for world, you would think it's cosma or cosmos. That's not what that word is. It's aion, which means an age. Generation can have an affinity to age, which is an extent period of time from the initiation point to the consummation point. So when he says this generation, he's referring to things that's going to happen while they were alive, which would be the destruction of the temple in 70 AD, which a lot of preterists will say, you see right there, it's been fulfilled. But there's still some elements of that has not happened. Where's the lightning in the sky flashing from one end to the other? I didn't see that happen. No, I don't see any accounts of that happening during that period of time, which means there's still other parts of it that need to be fulfilled. So when we look at that period age, is that generational period from the initiation all the way to the consummation. So hopefully that begins to answer that question. All right. Joseph Clark, from what I read, no, it's not. It's not. All right. It's not. Shout out to the shepherd in the building, Shalom. He says, why do Christians always refer to Colossians 2:16? Well, they refer to that because of spiritual oninitis. They get to do the pull out. Remember I told y'all the pull out? Okay, so look, let's go to Colossians 2:16. I'm trying to run through as many of these questions y'all giving me. Because I'm trying to speak on something. Hold on. Let me bring it up. Let's see. Just to bring it up. All right. So let me bring this up here. Hold on. All right. I guess I could start here. Shout out to my sister, the souls of our ancestors. I appreciate the donation, sis. Thank you so much for that. And of course, I will continue to work tirelessly for our community because so much work needs to be done. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of people in this lane here that Yah has pioneered for me to walk through. Hopefully, we get more and more people that can align with KHM. And we can widen this path so more people can come through it. But in order for us to see a change in our community, we're going to have to reconstruct and restore culture so we can create more close-knit communities, so we can become autonomous or Kodesh or set apart. That's extremely important. So I believe this ministry is necessary, and those with similar aptitude for this type of change to align with us, it's also going to be necessary in order for us to have any degree of success. All right. So thank you for that, my sister. I appreciate that. All right. All right. So let me share this on the screen real quick. Here we go. It says, therefore, have you received Christ Jesus the Lord, so walk in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith, just as you were taught, abounding in thanksgiving. See that no one takes you captivity by philosophy and empty deceit, according to human tradition, according to the elemental spirits of the world, and not according to Christ. Now, there are scholars that say that the book of Galatians, the book of Colossians are some of the earliest works of Paul. Okay, which means that his mindset in the book of Galatians will spill over into Colossians and vice versa. Okay, and this is all based on his travels. All right. So when he says, see to it that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit, philosophy, philosophy, right? So philo comes from philos, which means brotherly love. And Sophie comes from Sophia, the deity that's personified Sophia, which is wisdom. Lovers, brotherly lovers of philosophy, of wisdom. And these are the things that the Hellenized people were doing when they saw Paul. They said, man, what's this new doctrine he got? Because they always was looking for a new philosophy. So he says, See it that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit, according to human tradition, according to the elemental spirits. And then you have a FM, which is your footnote. This is why critical edition Bibles are important. And it says elementary principles, also in verse 20, which we see another verse that lines up with this, of the world and not according to Christ. Now, does this mean Israelite culture, customs? He didn't say that. This can very well mean the secular realm, because he goes to say of the world, elementary principles of the world. Okay, keep going. For in him the whole fullness of deity dwells bodily, and you have been filled in him, who is the head of all rule and authority. In him also you were circumcised with a circumcision made without hands, by putting off the body of the flesh by the circumcision of Christ, having been buried with him in baptism, in which you were also raised with him through faith and the powerful working of the Most High, who raised him from the dead. And you, who were dead in your trespasses and the uncircumcision of your flesh, God made alive together with him, having forgiven all of our trespasses by canceling the record of debt that stood against us with his legal demands. This he set aside, nailing to the cross. He disarmed the rulers and authorities and put them to open shame by triumphing over them in him. Therefore, let no one pass judgment on you in questions of food and drink, or with regard to a festival or a new moon or a Sabbath. Now, the first thing is identifying the speaker, which is Shaul Paul, right? Paul says in Galatians chapter 2, he was given the right hand of fellowship towards the Gentiles, okay? Second thing is looking to see the context, right, of what's going on here. So now you have these individuals that's part of this ecclesia, right, or this called out group that's come together, where they are being persecuted, they're being ostracized, they're being marginalized, right? They're being shamed by various other groups, whether they're secular groups or legalists from the Pharisees. And he's talking to a group of Gentiles and say, look, let them not judge you or pass judgment on you in questions of. This is what he says. I didn't make this up. In questions of, let no one judge you in regards to, or in here, it says in regards here. Then it goes into food, into drink, and in respect of a festival or a new moon or a Sabbaton or a Sabbath day, the period of time in which you rest. So you see how the ESV also translated, therefore no one is to act as. Krino, which is where you get the word judge or decide or split things apart. Your judge, krino, again, in regard to food. This has to do with judgment in regards to making a decision to do something. All right. Therefore, let no one judge you in judgment of, or in your decision of food and drink with regard to a festival, a new moon, or Sabbath. So if somebody is an Israelite, they should be keeping Israelite customs and practices. If somebody's outside that scope and they're doing what they're doing, that is not in alignment with Torah, which was given as a covenant to Israel. If they decide, those Gentiles decide to cleave unto Israel, they have to do away with that. But if they're not cleaving appropriately, they're going to continue to engage in that. This is something that he's writing in regards to the Gentiles, so they do not get discouraged because of the legalists that was coming at them and the secularists that was coming at them. Okay? Not just the legalists, the secularists as well, because they had their own periods of rest. They had their own festivals and new moons, etc. Right? But if we were to look at this in conjunction with Galatians, then we see what's going on here. So Christians will use that. But if you're a Black Christian, and we can make the case that you're an Israelite, and you understand, okay, let's say I'm an Israelite. Well, if you are, then you got to get alignment with this. But in regards to says that no one judge you in the judgment of food and drink. Let no one decide for you the decisions of food and drink. That's really what it should say. But that doesn't mean that the law was done away with. They'll go up here and say, "Oh, but it says here that he nailed everything to the cross." What did he nail to the cross? What did he nail to the cross? By canceling a record of debt that stood against us with his legal demands. Then he set aside, nailing to the cross. So the things that record of debt that all the Israelites and people in general, according to Paul's theology, you know how I feel about Paul, according to Paul's theology, was nailed to the cross so he can disarm the rulers and authorities and put them to open shame by triumphing over them. That was what was nailed to the cross. The things that were charged against the people for the debt that they have incurred from straying away from the law of the Most High. It says that he nailed that to the cross. He set it aside and nailed it to the cross. And by doing so, he has opened up this period of what we call grace for you to get back into alignment with the Most High. But if this is dealing with the Gentiles, then this is why Paul will say something like this: let no one pass a judgment or decide on your decisions of food and drink or regard to a festival or new moon or Sabbath. That's why I simply try to get this message to our people who we identify as Israelites or the lost sheep of Israel, so they can get back in alignment with this. And the Gentiles, they're going to do what they're going to do. If y'all going to engage in this, and that, that's your business. If I was in alignment with Shaul's theology or Paul's theology. But nonetheless, I put this towards our community and say, look, you're an Israelite. This don't apply to you. You're an Israelite. So this does not apply to you. So again, it depends on how this can be interpreted within its background context. But I simply tell people, you have to wean away from this. It's that breast milk of Christianity that got people drunk. And now they look at everything from this presuppositional lens that distorts the purpose of the Brit Hadashah. It's that simple. Get off the breast milk of Christianity. So I'm going to show you something else that seems harmless, but is extremely dangerous. It seems harmless, but it's extremely dangerous. Let me show this to y'all. All right, I was trying to get this to y'all earlier, but let me go and let me grab it for y'all. Hold on real quick. All right, I want to show you guys two things. First, I want to give you this topic right here. All right. I don't know if I want to use I'm trying to find out the best source to use to demonstrate this for y'all. Let me see. Let me grab it. Okay, you know what? I'll just use the propaganda version of this. All right, let me zoom in. I'm gonna give y'all the propaganda version, and then I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm talking about with this. All right. A bio. Email me again, sis. Email me again. What you need from me. I think you said you need a bio. Let me know. Let me know. All right. All right. So let me bring this up real quick because I need you guys to see the subtlety. All right, and this deception and how deep it goes. All right, this here is from encyclopedia.com. It's called The Theology of Inculturation. Please pay attention to this. This is what has destroyed the native communities that were deemed as savages that Christian missionaries and evangelists has went to and triumphed over. Okay? What they're trying to do is get them to see the Christian gospel within their own cultural paradigm. That is dangerous. And we should not be doing that, because if you're doing that, you're using the same tactics as the Christian missionaries that conquered the West Africans, Central Africans, and Native Americans. Okay? So let's read this. This is the propaganda version. This is the friendly version of the PR version of this particular theological position. It's called the Theology of Inculturation. The term acculturation, as applied to Christianity, denotes the presentation and re-expression of the gospel in forms and terms proper to a culture. It results in the creative reinterpretation of both without being unfaithful to either. Evangelization respects culture as part of the human phenomenon and as a human right. So this is a way they're saying, okay, how can we reassess evangelization in a way where we are sensitive to the cultural norms of a particular people? Because in doing so, we can find a subtle way to undermine that culture, even though we're acting like we're not, and being able to present them the gospel. So when they receive it, we can convert them over to Christianity. It's very subtle and it's extremely dangerous. That's my perspective on it. And you'll see a lot of urban apologists use this. When I spoke to Vocab Malone several occasions, he used this. When I talk to other urban apologists, they use this all the time. I'm just showing you the cards in their hand. All right. Culture is a coherent system of meanings embodied in images and symbols that enables the individual to relate cognitively, emotionally, and behaviorally to the world and to communicate this understanding to others. Hence why we have everything that we have in the Torah, right? That we can see or start to reconstruct through our time in West Africa. Important. It says, it is the prism through which a human society views the whole of its experience, domestic, political, social, economic, and political. Culture is learned by the human being through socialization and is developed throughout life. It gives identity to a human group and controls its perception of reality. Hence why why I push it so much. Look at this. For the purposes of theology, it is at once more positive and more precise than the term context. Syncretism, which is also can be dangerous. It depends on the situation. I say if it's through acculturation, syncretism is a natural process. When it's by way of religion, it is a dangerous process. What is the difference? So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, all right? So if we have Israelites that migrated from Israel and settled in West Africa and lived amongst other natives that was in that region that had a very similar culture, but, with some distinctions, and you have this Israelite group and this native group living side by side, like we see in the kingdom of Loango, with the Vili peoples here, and then the colony of Black Jews that are here. That's what they call them, Black Jews, living side by side, right? They didn't really want to eat together. These Jews had different burial practices than they did. They put certain ornaments and drawings, in the gravesite areas that this group didn't do, right? So we see these two groups side by side. But what happens is syncretism happens, where it says syncretism denotes an anomalous conflict by meaning when in the process of evangelization, cultures domesticate the gospel and distort its meaning. So through a natural process of acculturation, one group, another group, they live in close proximity to each other. So cultural fusion happens where elements of this culture goes into this group, elements of this culture goes into this group, but they're still two distinct groups. Okay. It's not until you get inculturation, not N-E-N-culturation, where over time, this group, because they're the base group in a larger context of a kingdom that is controlled by these people, they are now adopting most of the things of this group so they can survive and navigate in this new society in which they become subservient to. They are no longer that autonomous group, but they then absorb their way into this group. This is what happened to the Igbo peoples. And this is my proposition in regards to the Igbo peoples, right? But when we look at Loango, it's different because you still had the culturation. You didn't have the inculturation process that happened. But syncretism means where you come in as a Christian missionary and you have all these Christian values and concepts and ideas. And what you do is you look for things in that native culture and you synchronize with it and say, oh, you believe in the higher power. Well, we believe in one too. His name is God, God the Father, first person of the Trinity. But that's not the same deity that they worship. But what you do is over time, you get that group to believe it's the same deity. And what you do is you look for things that are similar and then you synchronize them as a means of pulling these native peoples out of their culture and into your religious dogma. That's dangerous. Now, you see here in this article, because this is the PR version of Inculturation, it's identifying as being dangerous. Religious syncretism is dangerous. Syncretism by way of acculturation is natural and organic. Are you understand what I'm saying? It says no culture is deemed to be unfailingly Christian since inculturation is a constant call to conversion and renewal. That is extremely important. No culture is deemed to be unfailingly Christian. You know why? Because Christianity is not a culture. It is not native. They're telling you this. Let's keep going. Evangelization must enter into dialogue with cultures if it is to produce any effect on human beings. Cultures are empirically diverse. Therefore, evangelization leads to cultural diverse ways of living the gospel. Inculturation opposed to uniformity demands the legitimization of diversity. There can be no monopoly of cultural forms and a truly Catholic communion. This is true in spite of the mutual influence of evangelizing and evangelized cultures. Interculturation and of the accumulation by the church of current but contingent cultural elements as an inherited patrimony. Until the realization in the 20th century that culture is a plural phenomenon, the church took it for granted that there was a single universal culture of humanity, the perfection of which was deemed to be Christianity in its Western Latin form. No allowance was made for factors of cultural diversity and theological controversy, and the church was unable to accommodate the initiatives of early Jesuit missionaries such as Matteo Ricci, Robert de Nobili, and Pedro Paez when they tried to evangelize foreign cultures from within. In the 20th century, particularly at the Second Vatican Council and in the subsequent assemblies of the Synod of Bishops, cultural pluralism has been accepted together with inculturation as a demand of evangelization. So you remember when Pope John II had this ecumenical call where all these different groups coming together, praying together? This is inculturation. Your interculturation is evangelized cultures, such as the Igbo people in Nigeria today, the Yoruba people in Nigeria today, who are Christians. That's an evangelized culture. And what they try to do is they try to adhere to the syncretism that was created by the Christian missionaries that initiated them into their sects and use that as a form of evangelizing their other family members, friends, and such, etc., who still hold on to the old traditional religions. All right. So now the Catholic Church said, damn, you know what? By us evangelizing all these groups, we are eradicating the diversity of culture. And you know what? That's politically incorrect to do. So we got to find a way to cohabit with that. That is extremely dangerous. Now, I want to bring something out real quick. Let me bring this out so that way I can kind of hammer this home, take a few more questions, and I'm done. Okay. Let me show this to y'all. Donnell Jones, I didn't see all of it. But I'm going to check it out. Shout out to my brother, Sign of the Times TV HQ. Salute to you as well, my brother, Coach Vaughn Parker in the building. Shalom to you as well. Frontline, no. What's going on? All right. Make no Griezmann and Jordan's cadet. Facts. All right. So look, hold on. Let me bring this up. Let me find it real quick. Because I just decided to do this random session and I wasn't really even prepared for it, but hold on real quick. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. Hold on. All right, it might be in here. I think it's in here. Hold on. I got so much stuff, man. It's which book was that? Damn, I read so many books, man. Hold on. Which book was I reading? Which book was that? Was it a book or an article? Man, this was the perfect example of it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Again, fam, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. The ways you can support this ministry is in the description below. Hit that subscribe button. Click on the bell icon. Click all and share this video, family. Share this video, all right? Give me a second. Let me see if I can find what I was reading. I'll be right back with you. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. All right. So I found what I was looking for. The name of the book is called, just so you guys can know, I'm going to bring it up on the screen for y'all in 1 second. It's called Life on the Congo by W. Holman Bentley. All right. So I want to find what I was looking for here first, and then I'm going to bring it up to y'all. 1 second. Hold on. Which one was it? It's this one right here. So on chapter 5. Chapter 5. So let me bring it up on the screen real quick so y'all can see it. So I was reading it on my laptop, so that's why I didn't have it on my desktop, but I'm going to bring it up real quick. All right, so hold on 1 second. Let me just adjust real quick. All right, so I'm going to show y'all the subtleness where what you're seeing there. These are tactics that was utilized by the Christian missionaries. Okay, it's very deceitful. I'm gonna bring it up here on the screen real quick. Let me bring it up right quick. All right, so let me bring it up so y'all can see it. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. I don't need that. Let's put it right here. All right. So let me know if y'all can see it. I don't know. I think it might be a little bit small. Let me see if I could zoom in. Can y'all, hopefully y'all can see it. In search of, okay, I'll check it out in search of. I'll look at it. Shout out to Melanin, Rich, and the Gas in the building. What's going on? What's going on? All right, so look at this, family. Shout out to my brother Hassad from Saqqara in the building. What's going on, my brother? It says, The Religious Ideas of the Natives, Chapter 5. This is from the book called Life on the Congo, right? So now watch this. Watch this, all right? He says here, Nzambi, or some slightly modified form, such as Enyambi or Anyambi, is the name which God is known over the explored region of the western portion, while the Banyansi of the upper, let's move, of the upper river use Molango, which is the same as Mulungu, and Muungu of the East Coast. Of the derivation of Nzambi, we cannot speak definitely or even approximately. Suffice it to say that the world has a sense of greatness and conveys a definite idea of a supreme being. It cannot be connected with the vague notion of sky, having nothing to do with the word Izulu, or heaven. Now, watch this. Let's keep reading. There is a decided idea of personality, and the Congos generally speak of Nzambi Ampungu, the Most High Supreme. The name of God is all they know, and certainly they have no notion of any means of communication between God and man. They regard him as the creator and as the sender of rain, but would never under any circumstance think that their voice being heard in heaven. So, having no helper, they betake themselves to charms to avert evil, for general protection. The knowledge of the name of God gives us a good basis to work on. You see this? This is the issue. The knowledge of the name of God gives us a good basis to. We can tell them, watch the deception. We bring them a message from Nzambi himself, not a story of a white man's God, but their God and ours. And at once we get ready and deeply interested hearing. Have we seen Nzambi? Because these people are extreme empiricists. That means they need empirical data, stuff that they can detect with their 5 senses in order to determine the validity or authenticity of any kind of statement that you ask them. But Westerners are extremely abstract. That's why they had a disconnect with the concrete natives. Watch this. They say, have we seen Nzambi? Does he live in the white man's land under the sea? How did we hear this news? Such are the questions they are ever ready to ask. Yes, because they detect that y'all is lying to them. Okay? And it says, on one occasion at Stanley Pool, a lad from the far upper river sold by Zombo traders to the Banyansi asked me, but Mundele, all joking aside, what do you really come here for if you do not want to trade? Tell me truly, because they're so used to the Westerners, you know, the white people coming in and wanting to trade and stuff like that. He says, I've told him that we had been commissioned with the message of good news from Nzambi. This is how syncretism forms. And now, because of the damaging effects of syncretism and all the flack that the Catholic Church and Christian, or we're talking about Protestant Christian missionaries has been given, they're saying, whoa, we got to switch it up. We got to do it inculturation. We got to be culturally sensitive when we disseminate the gospel. We can't do it by means of religious synchronization anymore. And I'm showing you this is religious syncretism going on right here. All right. And that was our real and soul business. What? And Nzambi, who lives in the heavens, and Nzambi Kun Ezulu. As he said this, he pointed up into the sky. Poor boy. I wondered how he knew that there was a God and that he was so instinctively pointed up to the blue sky. I saw him once or twice after that. He soon returned to his distant home, but could tell people that he had seen white men who were coming soon to bring what? Them a good message from Nzambi. Interesting. What is the point that I'm trying to tell you? Inculturation is a response to the damaging religious syncretism that was done by Christian missionaries to evangelize cultures, remember, interculturation, and get them to accept the gospel. There's been so much blowback recently that the Catholic Church and even Protestants who got wind of this started to doing the same thing, decided, whoa, we got to do inculturation. We got to find a way to present the gospel in a meaningful way where we accept the cultures, the variety of cultures that people have, and so at the same time can show them that you can receive the gospel within your own culture. That is extremely damaging. This is why all these so-called African Americans, this is why they're Christians now. Either through religious syncretism of their ancestors, interculturation, evangelized cultures, and now through inculturation, which they're teaching you to do now as an evangelist. I didn't even realize this term until I became an evangelist, started to research this. But when I was a Christian and I was getting on these evangelism missions all throughout the U.S., my local community, whatever, they were teaching us how to perform inculturally towards the people, where we would find people that had different backgrounds or whatever the case may be sensitive to their backgrounds, but find some element in their life that you can connect the gospel to. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's extreme. You're right, sis. She says they were extremely crafty. Yes, because you have institutions that are think tanking this information and figure out different ways how we can force conversion through means of subtlety. Okay. All right. Go back and look up these terms, research it for yourself, and you will see this. Shout out to Apostle TK in the building. My sister Kanisha Morgan, what's going on? Ace, what's up? And go back and take a look at this, and you'll see. These are things that they're doing in response to the blowback. You got to understand this because your urban apologists, Christian apologists, this is exactly what they're doing. They're teaching inculturation, and I call them on that all the time. And it's very difficult for them to respond because I see what they're doing. Whether they're aware of it or they're not aware of it, this is what they're doing. And y'all need to call them on it as well. All right. So my brother Seth, you're absolutely correct. Exodus 30 to 25 goes into the composition of the incense and oils. 26, let me put it on the screen what he's saying. 26 or 30, where it was used, where it was to be used, and how. 31-30 sounds like a command not to create the same composition. Please expound on this. Not to create the same composition while the priesthood was in existence, operating within the tabernacle and or temple. There's no longer no tabernacle. There's no longer no temple. So those elements that were once used by a select group of the elitists, which were the priests, that the people would have to interact with, who would divine on their behalf, now they've been pushed out. So now the people can take some of these customs. And remember, a lot of these things were customs that were already being done by these Shemitic peoples. It was just now codified into a particular protocol that was done by the priesthood in order to divine with the deity. But now there's no more ark. There's no more temple, and these Levitical priests have been scattered. So now what the people can do as a kingdom of priests in exile is exhume these elements, recreate them, and use it for their own means of dividing to the Most High if they do it structurally the way it was prescribed. But while that priesthood was in existence, you were not allowed to do that. They're no longer here. So now the door's opening up. All right. So hopefully that explains that. But thank you for pointing out the entire scripture. I talked about this, I think it was like a year, some change ago. I have brought this up in one of my old live streams. All right. But you are absolutely correct, my brother Seth. And thank you for posting that. All right. All right. So Hassad said, Shalom, King. What sources would you recommend to substantiate Israelite migration to West Africa? That's a great question. What I will say to you, Hassad, is that there is a presentation that we are doing. Now, again, I discussed this in a lecture I did in 2018. I'll throw the link in the chat for you so you can check that out. I'll give you the old lecture that I did. This right here is in the chat. So check that out, Hassan. And the follow-up to that will be done August or September. Me and Shema are going to be putting together a PowerPoint presentation where we will be addressing just that. All right. So we're going to be dealing with DNA, migration routes, oral traditions, customs. We're going to be dealing with primary sources, etc. All right. So you definitely want to tune into that when we do that presentation. I'm going to have a flyer made and everything. I'm going to promote it. And you guys want to definitely tune in and check that out. Okay. So in the interim, that link should help if you're interested. And go back and check out the last live stream I did towards the end where I talked about some of those sources. All right. Okay. All right, family. So I think I was able to tackle enough for now. I'm going to step off of the live stream. It's only been an hour and a half, which is not too bad. Hopefully it was helpful to y'all. Again, we will be live again on Friday. I might do another daytime live stream at 2 p.m. on tomorrow or Thursday. All right, I'm going to try to do another daytime live stream to see what the reception is. Ace 8 says subterfuge. Exactly. That's the perfect word to describe inculturation. All right, or religious syncretism. But stay tuned for our daytime live stream that I'm going to do either tomorrow or Thursday. All right. And then Friday, we do our regular one. And Saturday, I'll be in Virginia Beach. All right. I'm going to do one out there on Saturday and Sunday. So you're going to have a ton of live streams coming your way. All right. And I'm still working on that video of me speaking to the 2 Catholics when I was out there in downtown Dallas. All right. That video is also going to be uploaded to the channel soon. All right. So thank you to everybody who just recently signed up for our Patreon. I appreciate that. I'm going to throw more sources on there before the day is over. I'm going to add more source material for you guys. Again, the 24/7, 365 after party is always on our Patreon, www.patreon.com/DivineProspect. Thanks to everybody who has donated through the super chat while we've been live. Thank you to anybody that has shared this video, who's hit subscribe recently, and who's patronizing us and supporting us, family. We're doing what we can. If you guys need any help, just email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. If we can help you, we will. And any way that you need assistance with, we'll do our best or point you in the right direction. Anybody that has sent an email, have not gotten a response yet, remember, we get overloaded with emails and inboxes all the time. So it takes some time for us to sort through it, but we will get to you as soon as we can. And if we haven't gotten back to you in some time, it's always okay to resend it. Whatever the message is or the email, it's okay to stay on top of us to resend it until you get an answer. All right. And with that, family, hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, this was just a check-in. Wanted to make sure you guys are doing okay. Make sure you guys are good. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. So Ace. All right. So I'll talk on that real quick and then I'll close out. So what Ace is talking about is a live stream that Standard did where he had stood up and said, "Oh, I got to reveal this to the family and let y'all know this about me." And he showed that he had the black, red and green, or the red, black and green fringes on. And you got to remember, I gave Standard 2 pairs of red, black and green fringes way back in 2016. I gave him a pair. In 2018, I gave him a pair. right? And if you look at some of his old videos from back then, if you see the background on his wall, he actually has them hanging up. And I told this dude, I was like, yo, one day you're going to be wearing this. And he wore it to several events on the low. Nobody knew it. And then now he's dealing with Sister Napa, who you all know is an Israelite, right? He's dealing with Sister Napa. So, you know, he's coming out saying, oh, I'm going to bang on all the fake Israelites and I'm going to show you how to be a real Israelite. This is Sinetta. Matter of fact, let me bring the video up real quick. I want y'all to see this. My brother, Kelly Richardson. Shout out to Pastor Kelly Richardson. We Woke Now is the YouTube channel. I think he posted it on that YouTube channel. Hold on. Here it is. So I'm gonna post it, and this is for my brother. Shout out to my brother Kelly Richardson. Me and him we're working on a project to do soon as well. So let me show y'all this real quick from his YouTube channel. All right, and I'm gonna end off with this because I think this is what you're talking about, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is what you're talking about. So hold on.
I'm gonna let you know. I need to say this to you real quick. I never really wanted to do this. I wanted to be behind the scene, but I'm gonna reveal myself right now. In case you don't know. Let me reveal
myself. Has a seat on. He has on his seat.
No, I got on my fringes. I got
on my fringes. He's got on his fringes.
So let me just let y'all see what's going on.
All praise to Yahweh.
I tried to be on the down low because I'm a silent killer, and that's why I'm here to get rid of all the fake Hebrews. FOP is on my list right now. They're the #1 fakest group out here. And Black Jesus, you better run for cover.
Okay. So with that being said, family, yo, he said this stuff to me before. He's won the fringes before. I was the first one to give him. Now the ones he has right now, I don't know where he got those from. Those were not the ones I gave him. I gave him 2 pairs. That was not the pair that I gave him. So I don't know where he got that from. But nonetheless, y'all know the truth now. He's talking about that. Yeah, Kemet, and what you got fringes on for? Come on, Si. You know, Si want to be down. He want to be an RBG Israelite so bad. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, we working on him, man. I've been talking to him in the past. I had tons of conversations with him in the background or whatnot. But yo, how many Israelites do y'all see wear the red, black, and green fringes? Who you think put Sinetta onto that? Me. I put him onto the red, black, and green fringes. You don't see him having the traditional fringes that we see a lot of brothers that use. You know what I'm saying? The fringes all around the garment with the border of blue. No, he has the zeets. That's red, black, and green. Who made that popular? Who brought that to the forefront? I'm not going to say no names. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the Most High gets the credit. I'm just a vessel. This is what I'm saying to you, family. This is why it's all in how you approach your family, your friends, and your associates. You don't have to bang them on the head with stuff. You share little tidbits here and there, here and there, here and there. And at the end of the day, you leave it up to y'all to draw them. That's it. That's it, family. All right? Judah Nazara. I don't know what you're talking about, my brother. I don't know. He says, salute the prince. Prince Judah Nazara. Prince Judah? I don't know about that. But Judah Nazara, we've been cool in the past. We've spoken on, I think it was a couple of sessions that we did on third-party platforms. I like some of the information that you say. Some things that you say I disagree with. But at the end of the day, we still brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. Set apart heart. Yes. This is her question. Yes. Women can wear them too. There's no prescription that they cannot wear them. All right. So that's what it is. People say, oh, Divine, why you mess around with Sinetta? He just told you. He's revealing to you the truth. He showed you the fringes. Of course, he's coming from a rugged, raw place, but give him time. You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly in his ear from time to time when we talk. Give them time, family. Even the most hardened people who are against what we stand for, over time, family, just give them time. Just give them time. That's all. Israel Doctrine just showed up in the building. All right. So with that said, family, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this session. Again, make sure you guys stay tuned to our next daytime live stream session, as well as our Freestyle Friday. We will be live from Virginia Beach this weekend, family. So if you're in Virginia Beach or the surrounding areas, you need to be at the Cry Out 2020 event. I shared all that information. I'll put the Eventbrite link in the description box below so you guys can click it and sign up for it. And there's anything that KHM can do to help y'all, email us at kingdomharmonger@gmail.com. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you're brand new, hit that subscribe button, click that bell, hit all, and make sure you share this video. Thank you for everybody that has supported and patronized us from the beginning of the session to now. Shout out to all my new patrons that have signed up and everybody else that's been rocking with us in my day ones. I appreciate y'all. All my newbies, what's up? Peace and shalom. Until we meet again, family. I'll see you again. Thank you for support.